Hey, let's get this big plane to come in. How's that sound? The side spit.
That made it stronger through this section. From here back to here was the bulkhead, and that was the position I was working inside, putting those ribs in the bulkhead. Spring was Franklin Delano Roosevelt had declared war on Japan, and the war plants were starting up, and basically anyone who was available was seeking jobs or going into service. So my husband and I went to Akron, and I was hired into Goodyear Aircraft Plant 3, building this F4U Corsair, and I worked on that assembly line there.
I worked on the conveyor belts. That was conveyor belts for the paint shop. I worked one of these old overhead drills. I bucked rivets. I drilled. I worked in the blueprint office. I worked in the requisition office. Anything they called on me to do, I was supposed to be able to do, because I was a member of the flying squadron.
My job was painting inner tubes. Before they got to me, there was my sister and another girl. They buffed. They took the sharp edge off of the inside of one end and the outside of the other end. Then another sister and a friend, they spliced them. But before they spliced them, I had to paint them with benzene so they glue them together.
I don't know why I did it. I just wanted to do it. It was something for the country. And I didn't know anyone else that was doing it. But my mother, she worked at the west side of Cleveland at the bomber plant. And I worked on the east side. It was Fisher Body's plant. And just overnight they turned it into, the airplanes, probably B-29 plant.
My husband enlisted. He was called, and I had a friend. Her husband enlisted at the same time. So she invited me to go to Cincinnati with her to work in the defense plant that was making planes. So I did go with her, and I applied and took all the tests. I came home for 2 weeks because they said they wouldn't call for 2 weeks. And when I got home, my mother said, "Don't unpack. They've called you." So I went back, and I worked at Wright's Aeronautical. I don't know exactly how long, and I have tried to find it, but I have no record of it.
Well, we came home in 44, and seems like the production of this plane particularly went down. I don't know whether they had enough or whether the plan was to drop the bomb on Japan or what, but things kind of slowed up. But I was home when the war stopped in 45.
Oh yes, after it was it, yeah, because they didn't need us anymore. And then the jobs are being filled by the men that came home, which was only right. And they turned it, well, during the war you couldn't buy a car. You couldn't buy a tire, you couldn't buy a car. But we didn't care. People didn't care. That was the way. And like I told Annie before, if you saw a soldier or a sailor on the street or on the road, we picked them up and gave them a ride.
Well, one day the boss came in and said, "Well, children, you can go home. The war's over." And of course, everybody just was screaming. And we got to the street, and we first went to one of the cathedrals. And it was so crowded we couldn't get in. So I said to my friend, well, I'm going on home. And I got to the corner where I catch my bus, and I was crossing there, is the way it was. And I was going to walk home because everything was so crowded. And about that time, this soldier got me under the arms and set me on the bus. I said, I don't want on this bus. And the driver said, well, I believe you're on the bus. Just come on and go. I won't charge you.
As soon as we could get ready, we got on a train headed for home. And it was so good to see them hills, so good to be back home. We didn't realize how homesick we was till the war ended. I mean, the streets were crowded. Everybody was celebrating. Watch out, John. That's probably her arm.
Well, you go. Yeah, there you go. That's what we've been waiting for. She's got a mask on.
Yes,
Does that
she
keep her
does.
from breaking her nose?
Protecting her eyebrows.
Oh.
There it goes. The wrist don't bend.
That's an improbable set of characters you
I'll
are.
give her some slacks.
Huh?
I said, I'll give her some slacks.
She needs something.
She's heavy.
Is she heavy? Oh, wow. She is tall.
Oh, she's a tall lady.
Oh, really?
I
Oh, my
I could
Lord.
cut her up in a...
Oh, my gosh. At least for now, right? Make this woman decent.
Maybe we better put one at a time.
Yeah, I think we'll do one at a time.
It's lucky it's got elastic in the waist, so it stretches. John. No,
I didn't want to
no decent
go
woman.
further.
She would go.
Oh,
Was going to wear a belt. Of course, my boobs is a little bit bigger than that, so so I filled it out.
You remember that at that time. You still wore makeup even though you were in the plant, didn't you?
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure. So I think she needs a little bit of black hair sticking out from there, but maybe not a full wig. What do you think?
well, I'll go with the faux wig.
Would you? Oh, Lordy, what a different time.
Oh, there it is.
There's a picture that I carry, one we made some time ago. When they ask who's in that picture with me, I say just someone I used to know, just someone I used to run around with, just a friend from long ago. I don't tell them all the nights I cry without you, I say just someone I used to know. Cat, just someone I used to spend some time with. Just a flame that's lost its glow. I don't tell them all how lost I am without you. I say just